Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And in this video, I want to start with something different. I want to start with some comments. Now, usually the comments I get on my channel, the hate comments are from trolls, and usually I just respond to them because they're funny. But right now, I got a couple of comments calling my last video clickbait because I titled the video that I'm bearish, and well, I am bearish. I mean, I think Ethereum will go lower and I think Cardano will most likely drop with it. So I don't know how the title is clickbait if, I am expecting the market to go down a bit more, but let's actually check the comments and let's check out, let's see what we have here. I'm gonna look at this later. So first, let's start with this. I already call it clickbait. It's literally not clickbait. It's literally what the video was about. I am expecting the market to go a bit lower. So yeah, let's see what happens with that. Thanks for the update, man. Just a word of advice, brother. Try to refrain from titles that can be labeled as clickbait. This is the first time you've had this kind of title. So like I said, I mean, it's not clickbait if I actually believe it. Now, if you do not want to hear it, then that's not my problem. And honestly, I don't really care. Now, I see that you are a subscriber, but if you have been watching my videos for longer than 5 minutes, you should know that my opinions are sometimes, let's just say, well, the word for it is probably controversial, but it is what it is. And then we have another comment, which is this one right here. ADA will reach all-time highs by the end of May. May comes. Looks like we will hit the all-time high by the end of the year. I've been talking about this for months now. So basically, this is making fun of my predictions, and it's making fun of my ADA to $3, at least $3 by the end of May prediction. And I still think it's possible, but people do not seem to realize that I've never said that ADA will top in May of 2025. I never said that. I always told you that the altcoins and Bitcoin almost always top at the end of the post-halving year or in the next year after that in January. I never told you that we will get a top in May. Now, of course, some altcoins can get a top in May. I can give you some examples. In the previous cycle, Chainlink, for example, had the top in May. And, for example, when ADA went to all-time highs again in September and November and blah, 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 the Chainlink chart did not manage to form a new high, but, ADA did. So some altcoins will top in May and some of them will top at the end of the year. And maybe Cardano is going to be one of these that will top in May in this cycle. Nobody knows what's going on, to be honest, and I don't have a crystal ball for you. I also read some comments talking about the fact that, I never say where the price will go because, I mean, of course, it could go up and it could go down, but where is it gonna go? And, these comments are kind of, ironic in a way because nobody knows where the, charts will go, so it's really impossible to say where it will go. I don't think people understand my content. I think people only come here expecting me to tell them that Cardano will hit like $50 by the end of the year, which by the way is impossible, and they expect me to tell them that yeah, we're actually doing good. Well, right now we're not doing that great. Of course, on the Cardano chart we are looking way better than on some other altcoin charts, but still we are down like a lot from the high right here. But if you actually bought when I told you to buy, and by the way, I'm not giving you financial advice, but if you bought to the support zone right here, when by the way I was making videos back then, if you bought right here, you would be, still up about 2x right now. So I don't really understand where the complaints are coming from. If for some reason you are not in profit right now, it's literally your fault. And all I said is that Cardano, at least judging to what it did in the previous cycle, could get to all-time highs by the end of May. Now, if it does not happen, that's gonna be okay because, like I said, some altcoins will just stop at the end of the year. So I don't really understand these comments. I don't really understand where these comments are coming from, and to see them coming from a subscriber, by the way, who has been subscribed for about a month now, it's kind of disappointing. So yeah, I hope you understand what I'm saying here. I mean, nobody has the crystal ball and nobody knows where the market will go. I'm just using what happened in the past and what happened, on the S&P 500 chart, for example, to tell you what could happen next with Cardano and Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I don't know where the price will go. That's why we talk about the bearish and the bullish scenario. So yeah, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Now let's move on to the Cardano chart and let's talk about the 4-hour first. As you can see, we are still not doing anything, so not much to say about this. We have a 1-2 setup and we are still working on the third wave. The target for that is 74.9 cents, and yeah, that's pretty much all about the short term. Now I want to talk about Bitcoin for a second. Bitcoin, what it's doing is also important. As you can see, we are at the bull market support band, and we got rejected by the bull market support band many times in the past couple of months, for example here and even here. So what we need to do right now is obviously get back above it. Now also something else that we need to do is get back above the 200-day moving average, which is in between the bull market support band. So first, the first target to get above is $87,000, which is this right here, and the second one is, let's say, $87,500, and then if we actually want Bitcoin to turn extremely bullish even in the short term, then the next target would be $93,000 or something, somewhere around there. And once we actually get above the bull market support band, we will most likely retest it, so we could get like 100k, and then it will look like some kind of rejection. Maybe we'll do something like this, and then we could get a bounce. And by the way, something similar to this happened not even a couple of months ago. Now here we did not actually test the bull market support band. However, as you can see, after we got above it, for example here, we did drop below it for a couple of days, and then we got back above it again, and that triggered the big pump. And you could say that the exact same thing happened here as well. As you can see, we went down for a bit, we almost got to the bull market support band, and then we went up again. And I mean here as well, it's the exact same thing. We went up and then we went down, we went below the bull market support band, we got back above it, we retested it right here, and then we just, got to new all-time highs. Well, actually not all-time highs, but new, let's say cycle highs. And yeah, I think the exact same thing is going to happen again. I still think that Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano and the other altcoins will do just fine. And my prediction will remain the exact same. Cardano should be at, all-time highs by the end of May. Now, I know the end of May kind of sounds weird because I said in my previous, Cardano videos that Bitcoin usually drops in April or in June. So it would not really make sense to get a drop in May. If we judge this cycle based on what happened in the previous couple of cycles, as you can see, in the first cycle we started dropping in April, in the second cycle we started dropping in June, in the second week of June, and in the third cycle we started dropping in April. So the first cycle was April, the second cycle was June, and the third cycle was April again. So if we are doing what we did, right here in 2017, then the drop could actually happen in June, and in the first 2 weeks of June, well actually it could start in the first 2 weeks of June and not the end of May, which means that we might have an extra week or so. But yeah, like I said, I'm still expecting Bitcoin to drop a lot in the summer. It always dropped a lot in every single summer of the post-halving year, so I don't think this cycle is going to be any different. I mean, yes, we have been going down for a couple of months now, but you have to keep in mind we will most likely go up at some point, because that's what Bitcoin does. It goes down for months, like it did, for example, here and now here, and then it just explodes to the upside and gets to all-time highs. And I've been talking about this for so many months at this point. I mean, I don't really understand how people are not understanding what I'm saying anymore, because the RSI, as you can see on the weekly, it got to the exact same levels every single freaking time. So I don't really understand what do you want me to say. I mean, yes, I am short-term bearish because I think Ethereum needs to get to the oversold territory on the weekly if we want to find a bottom, but that's okay, because if we actually find a bottom, and I told you this like 5 million times already, if we find a bottom, that will give us a very nice short-term pump like we got here. For example, after finding the bottom, Ethereum went up like 62%, and here as well, I mean, after finding a bottom, it went up like 95% in like 28 days, ignoring what happened after that as well. I mean, if you want to look at what happened after that, we went up like 300% in the next 200 days. So obviously we need to get to the oversold territory if we actually want a very impulsive move to the upside. Until we get there, I don't know if it's gonna happen. It could happen. I mean, maybe it is gonna happen, maybe we don't need to get there, but we are so close to doing it, we might as well do it, in my opinion. So I'm still expecting another drop, and that should honestly be the last drop until the summer drop. And well, once we get there, I think think the bounce to the upside is gonna be very beautiful, because it always is. It was right here, and it was right here, and even right here. So I think we're gonna do just fine, but you just need some patience. And honestly, if you are not patient, I don't know what you are doing in this market. I don't know what you are doing in my comments section. I don't know what you are doing, watching my videos, because my videos, I mean, I post them daily. I have to talk about something, and I want to keep my streak going, because I've been posting daily videos for about 10 months in a row so far. So I don't really want to stop that. And sometimes I don't have anything to say. I mean, I don't really know what you want me to say. I mean, some people want me to talk about Chainlink and VeChain, and they are complaining in the comments that I'm not talking about them. But you have to keep in mind, I told you this in my VeChain and Chainlink videos, there's not much going on here. So if you watch my last update about them, I mean, that's all you need to know. I don't really know what to talk about in them, so I'm not gonna make like 5 million videos for Chainlink and VeChain saying the exact same thing every single video. I already do that for Cardano. I don't really want to go insane. So once, something actually starts going on the VeChain chart and on the Chainlink chart and on the other altcoin charts, then yes, I will talk about that. But for now, there's nothing going on. So I'm not gonna just, make daily videos about nothing and make multiple of them every single day, because like I said, that would drive me crazy. So I think Cardano is still looking very good, but we could get another low, or maybe just a triple bottom of something, and during that time Ethereum will most likely test the 0.786 support level again. We could get to the oversold territory on the weekly, and then we could get a bounce and still get to all-time highs by the end of the year, and hopefully by the end of May. Like I told you many times, if we do not get to all-time highs by the end of May, or by the first 2 weeks of June, then we could be in trouble if Bitcoin actually still gets that summer drop that we've got in the previous couple of cycles. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with that, and that's all I can tell you. No, this is not clickbait. You are here for a reason. You are here to understand what's going on in the market, and I'm telling you just that. And if you don't like what you are hearing, that that's not my problem, that's your problem. I mean, it's the truth. And if the market is not going the way you want it to go, I mean, that's just life. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.